Some parents do not even bother to ask questions when they see, 14 years, 15 years. Your child is 14 years, 15 years, is not working. You haven't bought a phone for her or for him. So they bring these things home and you don't ask questions.
So it's yet another beautiful evening, and we are coming to you from our beautiful studios here at Onekingmultimedia, to you, your homes, and wherever you find yourself. My name is Hetty. You can also call me Hetalicious, and we are coming your way with the One King Show. Kindly subscribe to all our socials at Onekingmultimedia so you don't miss any of the suspense, drama, and educative bits we present to you each and every time. Let's take a quick turn, and when we are back, I'll introduce my panel and the conversation starts. Welcome back from that quick commercial break. It's still the One King Show, and it's proudly sponsored by One King Mineral Water. As always, if you are looking to have a taste of royalty when it comes to drinking water, then I recommend One King Mineral Water for you. So kindly check on the screens, pick our numbers, contact us, and let's show you a cool way of making some cool cash in your pocket. So let's quickly come into the studios and engage my people. As always, your favorite people always on the block to bring you entertaining yet educative content. So starting from my left, I have with me Cristero in the studios. Cristero on the mic. And I have with me the only lady amongst the men. Shanzi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, baby girl.
They know. Dear gospel musician, Mr. Mensah, how are you?
I'm good, Hetalicious. I'm good.
I like the smile.
Pressure.
Anyway, so the conversation on the table for Big Plate, we are taking a look at the role of peer pressure in youth addiction. Yes, so we'll delve into the significance, influence that peer pressure and social, dynamics can have on the development of addictive behaviors amongst young people. So moving straight into the conversation, Brahma, I'll pick it from your side.
Okay.
We'll take a look at the psychological effect of peer pressure and the need for belonging during adolescence. When we get to that time, boys want to be part of groups. Boys want to be part of the cool kids. Mm-hmm. They want to be part of those who, sometimes they come with the notion that if you don't smoke, like we are John, you're not part. If you don't drink, you're not part of the squad. Let's look at that one.
Hetty, thank you very much. Some of these things, okay, I don't want it to look like I'm coming from...
Is it a need?
I don't want to look like I'm coming from the church kind of background, but that's where I'm going to come
it might
from.
look like anyway.
Yes, that's where I'm going to come from. Bible says that train up the child the way he should go, so that when he grows, he will not depart from it.
Yeah.
It is simply about the basics and the foundation. Some of these things, as a child growing up, you would definitely come in contact with some of these, peer pressure and these pressures from friends and stuff. It is normal. Even sometimes as adults, amongst your peers, there are things that subtly the pressure comes from them to, get into certain things. Right. But when the foundation is good for that person, it doesn't become so much of a problem.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a lot of parents don't instill strong, solid foundations, moral foundations in kids. So realize that when they are growing up, they are forced to move along with what is popular or what is the norm, what is common.
Yeah.
And that is where the problem comes in. So if the foundation is good, it doesn't matter what you try to build on it. If that thing you are building on it doesn't match that foundation, it won't stand. So yes, it is true that there's so much pressure. And the psychological effect, one of the things that is very dominant at this particular stage when kids are going through these things is that it makes them confused and they question themselves. Just imagine a kid being told by friends that, Charlie, everybody is doing it. If you don't do it, that means you are not normal. And you know that this is not something that you should be doing. But for the need to be normal, you get yourself involved in it. And it gets that kid in a state of confusion because at one point, I don't really want to do it. At another point, I want to do it because I want to belong. So if that kid doesn't have that strong willpower to decide that I am not going to do it, irrespective of whatever you say, then they get into it. Let me use myself as a practical example. Growing up, most of my friends were dada bees.
Okay.
If I can put it that way. Some of my friends started driving, I think, right after GSS.
Okay.
Some were even driving GSS time. But I say a hood. But after GSS,
it got
getting
serious.
to SS, people were driving. And I remember very well, this thing, this was around 2006 or 2007. Myself and two friends, we had a program at church. So we decided we were going to go to town and buy stuff. As at that time, that guy had a card, a bank card, ATM, to do a draw. That means he had an account. So when we go to town, this guy went to one of the banks, acquired transaction. If you want to know, I was thinking we were going to go to Ibrufu. That was our place. This guy went to, you see around Woodin, there's some boutique be a shit watches. No?
Yeah.
This guy said, that was the first time I entered that boutique. I entered the guy, we trousers, the guy was buying stuff. It's not as if he was doing it to impress. That was him. That was a normal for him. We were all following along. Hey, Charlie, this one be nice. So what touch you? What so okay? No, be some so young koto media. Na mi so media matodada.
Oh boy.
So we went, sat in his car. A coffee, not a portrait. Or coffee, and me the bike called the fee. Me go farm me bike called the fee, and I rode it home. Me do fee na me far car, and I me call town. I went to Brufum to do my selection. Now, reality. I went to church. It was a Saturday. So I went to church on a Sunday. It was a youth program be like that. Charlie, and this guy that I went to a boutique with to buy stuff, he said, Charlie, you are dripping. Oh, hey, Charlie, what do you feel? That time, it made me understand something. That it doesn't matter who you are or what you do. When you own that thing, it becomes yours, and it will bright in that corner that you are. Because I didn't understand why this guy that I went to boutique with, wearing the designer expensive stuff, was telling me that I went to buy my things at Ibufu.
Your things are so nice.
That my things are nice. So it tells you that contentment at that stage saved me. And from that time, I'm personally the type that I don't get too influenced. If I'll be influenced, if it is a positive influence, that is fine. But if I know it's negative, that strong mind power to decide I'm not going to do it is that thing that is very important. So I believe it would be a good what do you call it? Training for parents to let kids understand that have that resolve to stand your ground. Because other than that, you become confused. And psychologically, these things messes with a lot of kids. Just imagine a young girl being told that if you don't have sex, you go mad. And some girls would actually give in to this because they don't want to go mad.
Yeah.
It's not fiction. That is the truth. That tells you how confused their state of mind is. And if they really had that strong foundation, some of these things wouldn't be happening.
Nice one. If they really had that strong foundation, some of these won't happen. Let me quickly come to Cristero. Let's take a look at some of the types of peer pressure. We have social media pressure. We have, the drug abuse. We have gambling. Let's take a look at that and how it's affecting society. How does it even happen? Social media pressure. So we'll take it. I think let's take it. I'll give you two, and then I'll give one to Shanzi.
So peer pressure, it's a big thing, and for me, I think that peer pressure can be positive. It can also be negative. It comes in different shades. It comes in, in different angles. So I think that it could be positive, it could be negative. If you consider the social media, for example, there are a lot of good stuff on social media. What we are doing, once we are done, it is out there for everyone to see. We come to sit here, we entertain people, we educate people as well. It's on social media, YouTube, Facebook. People can go there and have a look at this.
Yeah.
That is a good influence. That is certainly a good influence. And there are also some negative influence on social media. So it is about how you are able to handle those things, those pressures when they come. You might see someone dressed very nicely, dripping. Let me borrow Abraham's word. Dripping. You understand? People riding, cruising, and all of that. That can either motivate you to want to work hard to achieve some of these things, or it can also motivate you to go steal. You understand? You go and steal because you want to get some. And so you do not know how the person came by all these stuff. But because you want to get some, by all means, foul, you would want to have yours.
Yeah.
You understand? So it is about how you are able to, get these and how you are able to handle all these pressures that are coming. And as I mentioned, it could be positive, it could be negative. You understand? And it is either directly or indirectly. All what I'm mentioning here are indirect peer pressure or pressures from peers. You understand? And everyone is susceptible to peer pressure. It doesn't matter whether you are old or you are young. But, research has actually shown that it is, adolescents and, children are more prone to, peer pressure. But it doesn't matter. You can be as old as Methuselah and still be pressured, And so for me, once these things happen, especially on social media, it is about how you look at them and how the mentality behind the way you look at these things. For me, when I see someone progressing, I am very happy for the person. It rather motivates me to want to work hard and then achieve whatever I want to achieve. It is not about, chin by any means, by what means, fair or foul, I just have to get this thing. No, I don't go by those things. So for me, Hetty, it is about how you are able to handle these things when you see them, especially on social media.
Nice one. Shanzi, let's take a look at drug abuse.
Yeah.
How do the youth end up, being pressured into it? Let's take a look at that one.
Okay, so let me say thank you to our viewers watching. And going to your question, drug abuse. A friend of mine is a victim of it. And so today when you came to the place, you saw me talking to someone. So we're actually talking about her. Okay. She actually got married, went to the UK, and came back because she wasn't getting, what is it called, crack.
Wow. That is sad.
And if you see her today, Charlie, you would just cry for her because the kind of blessings that came this girl's way and then she just brushed them off.
Fun.
You just cry for this girl. And now she has a child with someone, some ghetto boy who is not even taking care of the child.
How do the youth get influenced to get into drug abuse?
I mean, there are so many ways. Sometimes through school, friends you make from school, and at this age, sometimes, I don't know, but it is, when you are adolescent, teenager, or youth, you are, in a way, you are quite,
susceptible.
Yeah, prone to depression. I don't know. Youth Musano. We mostly get depressed. I don't know what the reason is, but most of the time. And so when you are in such position, one, if you're in school and then your parents are not really, taking care of you like they should, you get friends. Sometimes they might help you with one or two provisions and all that. And then you might, be in a position where you can actually learn from some things that they do. And so I was a victim of that when I went to school. So there are certain things that your friends or your peers might be doing, and then when you're not really getting what you need to get and they give you, they might initiate you into some things that they do that mostly aren't right or are not morally, accepted. And so when you don't have
what did
that,
they initiate you into?
so many things.
So many things.
Yeah, so many things. One, remember some were also into drugs and all those things, take weed, all those kind of things, a whole lot of things. I told you I was in mixed school, so
you could see all these things all the time.
You get it. So
classify weed as a drug.
There we go.
You classify weed as a drug.
There we go.
What is it then?
It's a vegetable. Don't mind.
Weed is not a drug.
Yeah, so it's quite possible to, if you're not really trained and then you don't have that, strong heart, and you might give
just
up.
Fall.
And then you just start doing all those things. And sometimes too, people that people fall in love with. We go to school and then we say we are in love with some people. I don't know what kind of love that is. SHS love, JHS love, school love. And then that partner might be in some situation like that.
Might be into drugs.
And then they can initiate you into it because, let's
be on the same high.
One puff be.
Baby, let's go to Cloud 9 together.
So that is how this friend of mine actually got addicted to it. He got himself a boyfriend who is into this whole thing, and then that's it. So any new drug that comes in,
she's being introduced to.
Exactly. And then now I jinx him. You get it. And so it's like that. And sometimes the kind of friends you find yourself with, sometimes and shut down yes no influence or but mostly I always say that peer pressure, no, it's not really about say force or say, oh, do this. If you don't do this, you're like this. Sometimes you just want to belong. So you just see them doing it. It's like you're the only person who is not doing it. So then you just give in and then you do it.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's still the One King Show live on One King Multimedia. Subscribe and let's get going. Brahmens, now let's take a look at, the link between peer pressure, mental health. Let's take a look at this one. The link between that.
Hetty, the link in there is a very strong link. Because, one, I feel that anybody who can easily be pressured into doing things
You're not mentally
is not
strong.
mentally strong. That is where I like what I feel. I might be wrong, or it's subject to debate or whatever. But
yeah, it's quite subject to debate because not really. Sometimes you might be going through a whole lot of things, maybe at home. We all are not the same, and then we don't have the same parents, and then upbringing and all that. So you might have some parents who actually make life like a living hell for you. And so when you meet people like that, they give you weed and you get high. I don't know if you've taken some before, but when you get high, there's a way you forget everything.
So this actually confirms what I said, that if you are mentally strong, you know how to deal with things without being pushed to do things. Now, everybody has a problem. If we see everybody has an issue. But you see how you deal with it. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, once you talk about mental strength, mental, something concerning our mental health or something, people take it negatively in a different way. You understand? There are people who are mentally not strong. It is a fact. There are people that someone will say, this guy there is strong-headed, or this guy there, or you're not doing so. There are people like that. And there are people who tell like, Charlie, let's go here. So, Charlie, let's go. And now, Charlie, I wanted to do this. No, this is not going to help. It's true. There are people like that. That is their nature. That is who they are. That is how they are. We can't take that away from them. But like what you asked, the relationship between them is very, very close. What would make someone say no? I'm not going to do this, irrespective of whatever the situation is. As Shanzi said, people are going through things. People have gone through. I know someone who went through a broken heart, and if you see the person, you'll be like, one, either he never loved the person who has broken up with.
But Ramesh, we are actually talking about adolescents.
Yes,
and I don't think at that age.
What I'm talking about is that age.
Yeah, I don't think at that age you really have that.
No, you see, everything develops. So if someone has a weak mental, if someone has
some people really mature even more than their age.
If someone has a weak mental strength,
we do. But
it's from that stage. You would know. There are kids that you tell, come and do this thing. No, my mother says I shouldn't do this. Obey it then. The child won't do this because that is someone who knows how to say no and has that capacity to stand their ground. Some kids, you tell the person, oh, come and do this. Your mother says if you do this, she will give you this. And, oh, okay, I'll do it. Obiani hawati. So I understand that. But even amongst the adolescents, in the young girls and young guys in our secondary schools and stuff, Charlie, we have some of them who see the worst things, yet they don't give in.
Yeah, we do. Right? Like me.
Yeah, so I believe their relationship is very near. It's very near, but the thing that sets it apart is the individuals involved.
Okay. Cristero, let's take a look at social media. And then it's linked to peer pressure. Let's take a look at that one. Social media and technology and how it is amplifying peer pressure.
These things are really, really... social media is influencing a lot of our youth into doing stuff.
Okay.
I must tell you. I must admit this one. In fact, some celebrities even smoke, on camera.
Yeah.
Post them on social media.
So their fans may think it's normal to do that.
So when you see
some cross-dress and stuff.
So
celebrities cross-dress.
If these are adolescents, if an adolescent sees this thing,
Tyler Perry,
they think these things are normal. I am telling you, they think these things are normal. Sometimes we have celebrities who have a large following doing this.
Chris, example, she asks Tyler Perry. Big time American,
But at the end of the day, it's for
it's
movie.
Content. I get it.
Yes.
Now, have you realized that when the media trend started pushing through, that was the time you had a lot of creatives now moving toward that line.
Yeah.
That is influence.
There was a time where Papi Kojo was smoking everything out of himself, and he said he was going through a lot of depression. He was going through depression. And so he had to resort to smoking. And so he was smoking everything in his system out. We have seen Shatawale on set, smoking. I don't know what...
Kelvin
Boy smoking. I don't know what they've been smoking, but I have seen them smoking. You understand? So when you see some of these celebs, on camera, post them on social media, and you have these children, and the kind of phones these children even have, I tell you.
I was talking about this.
14 years, 15 years, and the kind of phones they use.
Technology. You need to go for what's
I don't have
trending.
any problem, but they have access to social media. And so when they see some of these things, they think it is normal because the celebrities are even doing it. Aside from celebrities, we have, other people doing it. Recently, I saw a video, and then I think it was posted by Zion Felix or so, where some guys were having fun and they were smoking all around, shisha and all. So when people see these things, young people see these things, they think so these things are normal. They think they can do it the way they want to do it, and this is very dangerous. This is very, very dangerous. In fact, if care is not taken, yes, smoking has been there, and I know people used to hide to smoke. These days, no. Myself and
children
Magic
are
George,
smoking.
we passed through the day we had Yesua sorry. Yes. Myself and Magic George. So we were just hovering around town and we were walking around town and I tell you, people were just smoking. They saw us. They were just
now where do they care about you?
So that's my worry.
What have you got to do?
You see, that's the thing. You know, those days when you see people smoking and others are coming, they will begin to hide their
You
smoke.
see,
And whatever.
when kids are smoking, they seem painful. So
They will begin to hide whatever they
But
are
now
smoking.
they will greet you.
I tell
What's
you,
up?
there was a time I met a student of mine in a bar and he called me.
Said,
Oh yes. I was surprised.
Why? He has seen his teacher now.
Why? You call me
So
in a bar?
what were
What
you
were you doing in the bar?
Oh, but I'm an adult.
Maybe he's there to take coke.
Coke? No, but he wasn't taking coke.
So
What was he
how
thinking?
did he call you? Say Chris.
He was taking something in a green bottle.
Did he call you say Chris? Say Chris.
He called me,
2%.
yes.
Nice.
He called me.
Maybe he
Second,
was
he wanted me.
experimenting.
He wanted you to see
I
that
was
he was
here.
there.
Maybe he was experimenting. Don't force it on
Experimenting.
him. Yes, that's an innocent young man. Don't force it on him. Yeah.
Oh no,
Before we started, you were saying that during your days, I mean, you know how you kept yourself and all of that. These days, things have changed.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, I was walking on the street and I saw my teacher coming, you know,
Run
towards
away.
me.
You've not done anything, but you're running.
Yes,
The fear.
the fear, you know, just the fact that, you know, the next day he will come and say he saw me on the. No, I didn't want him to come and report. But these days, no, there isn't anything
These days
like
we
that.
will present ourselves to you.
and the parents themselves, you see, some parents do not even bother to ask questions when they see, you know, 14 years, 15 years. Your child is 14 years, 15 years, is not working. You haven't bought a phone for her or for him.
So
they bring these things home and you don't ask questions.
So the last time, I used to have a young girl living with me, class 6 to JHS 1. She was brought from my hometown.
Okay.
You know how these things
Yes.
work. So when she got to JHS 1, she now goes to school and I realized she's so careful. The little step she takes, she wants to clean her shoes.
She becomes so conscious of herself.
Yeah, like, hey, she wants to iron Monday to Friday. Initially, she will iron Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, Monday to Friday. Maybe we prepaid. I was just quiet about monitoring her. The other time I was cleaning my room, and then her room comes after mine. And then I hear this vibration. Vroom, vroom. My phone too, no vibration. I don't use any other phone. So what is that? So I tried to just, try to locate where the vibration was coming from. I later got into her room and the phone was under her bed. Not under her pillow, under her bed. So I raised the bed, picked up the phone, called her. Phone where there. Oh, Madam Fubi there no some in charge. And I'm okay. Catch her down for some phone. It took about a month. The person was not here. So I had to walk to her school. When I went to school, the things I heard. There was a national service boy there who is apparently her boyfriend. I'm like, eh?
Class 6.
Which class?
Yeah, classes.
Class 6.
Yes. I was like, eh? And the highlight of it all, that broke my heart to make me pack her things. Like, Madam, I beg you. I came for you, but please, I won't do again. Go. Before the inevitable happens. Now, when I go out to church, I go to church like 6 p.m. Or sometimes when I close from work like 4, I just go straight, I come home like 10. She gets home by 3. Dresses, wears my wig, of course. Adorns herself in my pretty clothes. She has 3 boyfriends in that small area where
She has body, eh?
No, very smallish. 1 lived up and 2 lived down there. And so she rotates. That day she goes up. That day. And I can send this girl for tin tomatoes 2 hours and she's not back. So the day I found out that there was a boy living up there, that place too is where the grocery shop was. And Brahman, do you know that the scary part was, I now found out she's treating infection. Class 6.
Wow.
I saw antibiotics in a polythene bag. Looks like Obia Twedrona Mano. that take this, take that. Then I realized someone is already doing whatever.
So
with the little girl.
you now understand what I was saying.
Hey,
So
tell
with
me.
this one, you saw the phone. You began to ask questions.
Yeah, some parents won't care.
No, some parents wouldn't ask. I am telling you, in this age and time, some parents wouldn't ask. They see their children with iPhone, whatever, very expensive phones. You haven't bought any phone for your child. You know the amount of money you give her or give him whenever she or he is going to school. You know that money cannot buy a phone. The child has a phone, and you are not asking questions. They don't. Some parents, I don't know. They have refused to be parents. And that is where we find ourselves now.
Interesting. This is still the One King Show. Let's take a quick turn, and when we are back, we'll look out for ways and solutions to curb this.
Mineral water, in Poncio. Shashamali says so.
Thank you for always sticking and staying with us. This is still the One King Show on Onekingmultimedia. Subscribe to all our channels so you don't miss any of the exciting things we have for you. So let's quickly continue our conversation. Now, let's take a look at, highlighting the long-term consequences of youth addiction, including academic, social, and health-related impacts. Shanti, let's take a look at, this whole peer pressure when it comes to the drugs, the alcohol, early sex, and all this. Let's take a look at the toll it has on the academics, the health, the social, the mental, like all these aspects of the youth. Let's take a look at that. So you can pick one aspect of it. It could be the health, it could be the academic.
It has a very negative impact on all these aspects that you mentioned. A negative impact. So now imagine just the story that you narrated about this young girl, class 6.
Yeah, class 6.
You have 3 boyfriends, 2 at your area, 1
at the top there.
I mean, how can you even learn? You come back from school and then you dress up like your sister.
Yeah.
And you go out.
Yeah.
What time are you going to use to learn?
And you?
Well, born because onya etino ain't me my own. You understand? At that age, you think you are in love. And so your mind and your heart will be occupied by negative and stupid things, stupid stuff. Because you think you are in love. The boy will be doing this, you'll be thinking about it. How are you going to get that sound mind? And learning, it really has to do with a mind that is very free.
Yeah.
So learning actually involves a whole lot of things. That is why we are advised that if you're going to school, just focus on the school, learn, and when it's time for you to get a boyfriend, and when it's time for you to have sex that we are rushing for, I mean, you'll get that sex, and then you'll be even running away from your boyfriend, your husband.
The way you mentioned the word, you sound as if you are already doing it.
I
know, but the way you are sounding as if you are already in the mood.
She's issuing a disclaimer. Listen to it.
No, the way you mentioned the word with some passion. I mean, but it's nice anyway. I love the way you mentioned the word.
Such mischief. Why? Shanzi, let's go.
Oh my God. I mean, we are rushing for it. It is when the time comes, you're actually going to get it more. I mean, and you'll be running away from it. Sometimes, even though say we are not married, but sometimes when you have a boyfriend and then he wants to also you understand? Sometimes you just get tired because I mean it's actually tiring sometimes. So we just have to calm down.
Right.
And I say ye too far, ye will say, Bia, ye show, a ye will say, Ebia, my men, Pewasem, a ye will say, Bia, yen person, near my head, there were Brabuno, Ube Hubi, a person, no, Kwana, they be a hey, yes. You want your freedom. If you get your freedom, what are you going to do with that freedom? I mean, you will get that freedom and you'll be like the prodigal son. You go and come back and beg your parents to actually take you back in because it's not all that rosy out there. It is very serious. But sometimes I feel very bad. I regret sometimes, and I feel like at some point I should have even listened to some things my parents told me. Mentie, you understand? And I sometimes sit there and be like, "Na make us more yemi, na make us say more shame." But then no more pe me ye. And see, at this point, I'm trying to make certain things right.
Right.
There's nothing like BBI too late there. But then you can still, amend some things and live the right way. So I'm still trying to do all those things. And then and the parents should also play a role in this because nowadays, just as Chris said, the parents are refusing to be parents.
Some parents.
Okay, most parents though. Most parents, most parents, they are refusing to be parents.
Don't you think some of these kids are the parents themselves to a point that they can't even be nurtured?
There's some.
So the mother, in order to save herself from hypertension, then
Minimami bia nikuno only her at the moment or you more different place or call no aba. Mama nanka not if no to controlling kolano. And some kolani get your mope, but the papa never no be acting right. Or no so to me kashi. What kind of a mother is this? And to kolani na say, papa ne very strict. So papa ne yes or bana so be say, hey. And kolano man say because nipa no na. She's supposed to make sure and straighten all these children. She's just there and then watching the children do what they want. They can go out, come back at the time they want. I mean, how can you be a parent or a mother and do this? And as a mother, you are the one that is supposed to actually take very good care of the children because you're mostly close to them as a mother. Mommy, they want to teach you if you're not mebwa. Mommy, they also want to teach you if you. Okwana also wo share wukunuso. And in a way, no one away and yes a head, but one will control if you. Now, mommy, what's one now? Yes, say yeah. And to most of the parents, I mean, or be back to me the phone now, Befi. No, mommy, crime business and say phone when you're here. Make a crown like it's one be a while. My meaning to me so because they are the ones that go out, go and sleep with men and bring money to their parents. So if they are doing all these things, the parents can't even say, they can't even ask them anything. And so no more bra. Now for the mark of pimp, not don't want us almost so.
Nice. Brames, let's take a look at your side too.
Hetty, I think it all boils down to upbringing. Shanzi said something. A lot of times, no. From the beginning, we don't instill the right morals in the kids. I went to a friend's house and the baby girl was, I think she was like 4 or 5, let's say 5 years. And then when I got there, I greeted. She didn't mind me. Then the friend came out and said, "Hey, you didn't hear uncle greeting you?" Say I was busy. She was on her phone. That's what the kid told me. Like they told her, it's like, uncle greeted you. Didn't my uncle say, "No, daddy, I was busy."
Hey.
Wow.
If it was me,
daddy, I was busy. Daddy.
Yes.
And the daddy, what did the daddy say?
Oh, say, I know other way. But if it was me, I would discipline you. Discipline is missing in our homes now. All in the name of rights and don't touch your children. When we were growing up, we were beaten. Yeah. I remember Chapel Hill. They used to give me homework. I wasn't going home with the homework. And then when they asked me, I tell my mom that they didn't give us homework. When the school asked me, my teacher asked me, I'll tell the teacher that I don't have the book, the textbook. And I had packed all these things in my desk.
Someone academy.
This is what I'm talking about. There's a teacher, anybody who went to Chapel Hill, they know one man called Mr. Mpeditre. They laid me on the table. My mom came to the school. They laid me on the table. This was like class 4 or something. They laid me on the table. Disciplined me there. When they finished, I didn't want to cry, but sometimes when they don't cry, it's the people who come and say sorry, that will make you cry. But what am I saying? That back then it was important because those things have shaped us.
Yeah.
So anyone who is close to me will tell you that Brahman's your penadie. Or I say some people don't like me because it's like I don't joke away with doing things the right way. I won't entertain mediocrity in any way. It's because of that kind of upbringing that I had. Because both my mom and my dad always made it a point to make sure they put me right when I go wrong. That is what we are missing now in our youth. Because you will see a child do something wrong and they tell you it's time out. You have time out. What kind of nonsense is time out? Bible says spare the rod and spoil the child. It wasn't just grammar. Once you are not disciplining the child, they become spoiled. And that is one of the reasons why a lot of peer pressure is going on now. Because one, Nipano, what Shanzi said, nobody can say, you can't show me anything. The mother and father can't show that child anything. But you see, growing up, we had friends who didn't have. But they won't go and mess up and bring it, and then the parents will take it. They won't do that. Parents always kept to teaching the children the right values.
Yeah.
But now we are living in a fast food kind of world where parents don't have time for children. So there's not enough time to even discipline the children. How many parents spend time with their kids? How many parents talk with their kids? I feel when it comes to peer pressure, everything boils down on the home. For me, that's where I feel the strongest point is. Because we live in a society where a mother and a father can tell a child growing up, this is called kakai, this is called akusia kuma. And the child will grow up and the friend will tell, this is a vagina, this is a penis. Men to say because that is how it is. And the child goes on the internet and sees that, yes, the thing is called vagina, the thing is called penis. At that point, the child's mind is shaped towards the friend because you are the one telling me the truth.
Yeah.
Parents these days don't educate their children well. If you don't educate your children well, people will educate your kids for you. Yeah. And trust me, some of these things that the kids pick up, it is not as if they are lies. So they are the truth. When you take weed and this, you will get high. That is the truth. But teach the child why I shouldn't take it. Teach the child why I shouldn't go and have sex. For some of us, in Sembonini, in Kolaboni, we started at university level. That is, it's not as if someone was holding your neck, but the kind of training you had, even who
who started at university was where you are Kolaboni.
And I say university, say Paul Ambante must say
okay,
but what I'm saying is that at the university level, let's say we are saying I'm an adult, right? That is the time I started even exploring and doing things. But we have kids today, as she was saying, you said class what?
Class 6.
Class 6. When I was in class 6.
Like 12 years.
When I was in class 6. Some of these things, it won't even cross your mind.
I mean, how?
Because now we are living in a world where information is very available as compared to those times.
But do you know that some years ago, I used to live in a house where there was this young little boy. That little one could be like JHS 1. Class 6 JHS 1. And I was in, SHS. So I come home and I go back to school, boarding house. And that's a very handsome, young little boy. Very, very handsome. And what we used to do was most of the times holidays, my family and his family would go to the beach, the kids. And it was a good time. There was a time it was like, he likes me. I was like, yeah, I like you. You're so slim. How you smile. I'm like, how the little boy could sit me down
and vibe you.
Hey, it
tells you the kind of conversations and stuff that they have amongst themselves.
I'm like, what is this?
What is this?
And he had such good thoughts. Like his conversations were
He's well articulated. He's viable.
I like you, like how you dress,
Yeah.
how you speak when you come home, how you do your hair. I'm like, yay.
So Hetty, see, the world is changing.
You love this vibe, eh?
That was a little boy.
Yeah, but I mean, he spoke well.
At that moment, I felt like a pedophile. What is happening?
No, see.
What is happening?
That is the world we are living. Information is readily available now. So the people you think are kids are not. See, a kid today is not the same kind of kid
You had.
let's say 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because a kid today has access to. I know this is my friend that I was talking about. The daughter that I was talking about. It was her phone. That was an iPhone 12. That was her phone. I went there. That I was using a Techno. I call like it. You say iPhone 12.
So my friends sit somewhere.
So you get it. They are exposed to a lot of things that I had my first phone. It was a Siemens, a orange light. You see those Siemens. I don't know if you've seen that phone.
Yeah.
That Siemens. That was my first phone I had. That one card I had it when I was about to enter university.
It's a one sentence.
You get it. So it's like now, if a kid has access to an iPhone, it tells you that now everything is available to the child.
Yeah.
So we, the parents, should be proactive and discipline them well. Because if we don't, every other thing. Because one thing, let me end with this. If you don't teach your children what they need to know or what is the truth, other people will teach. And one of the things that I see hurting a lot of adolescents now is that the parents are not drawing close enough to the kids to let them understand that, see, Ajwa, don't let a guy touch you like this. When he touches you like this, he's defiling you. If he does this to you, you are going to get pregnant. It's going to spoil everything. If he does this to you and he tells you he loves you, he doesn't. Let's tell the children what these things mean. Instead of saying, that is nonsense. Let's teach the kids now, because if you don't teach the kids, internet will teach them or their friends will teach them.
Wow. Crisero, yours in a round of one. And then let's
It is very important. We look at peer pressure. Very, very important. And if you want to actually take care of these things, I think first of all you have to value yourself. Yes, as a person, you really need to value yourself. I do not subscribe to parents, leaving their children in the hands of people, and all of that stuff. But sometimes situations, call for these things. For example, you live in Accra, you need to get to work at 7 or 6:30. Imagine when you are supposed to wake up, because if you delay for a while, if you delay a little bit in the house, you'll be caught up in traffic. So you have to wake up early. Sometimes the children will even be sleeping in the car. I mean, they have to join you when you close late. So you cannot, they cannot wait for you in their school. So someone would have to definitely go pick them up.
yeah.
So a little story to, I'm not trying to actually, a little story to that. There's this parent that came to share their experience about this one. They were both doctors, and so they didn't have
Very
time
busy.
for their children. So they brought in one, I think, brother of the husband, and then a nanny. And do you know what these two did to the children? When they are
Molest them.
out of town or when they are not in the house, they watch porn with the children.
Come on.
And they have sex together.
Oh, come on.
So the brother and the sister, at the age of 12 and then, is it 6 or 5, were having sex
With each other.
with each other.
Oh,
To
my
a point
God.
where when the parents realized it was too late, when they tried to stop them, they were like, it's not bad. There's nothing bad to it.
Oh, my God.
The girl got pregnant for about 5 times. They had to abort it.
What are you talking about?
At the end, the girl died. And because the girl died, the boy also took his life because he loved his sister.
What?
So this is a point where the mother was so feeling bad. She felt this kind of remorse in there that she didn't dedicate the time for his children. So when you are a parent and then you don't have time, we need time to make them about, we need time. Yeah, everyone.
Those days, our parents always put kids first. But you see, in this fast-moving world where everybody
career comes first,
you understand? That is where the challenge is, because parents don't have time for kids.
Unfortunately for parents, they are going through all of these things just to take care of the children.
Yeah.
Now you are going through all this to take care of a child who is already spoiled. A child that has gone astray. How then do you mold the society? So the onus lies on everyone, each and everyone, but it begins from home. It begins from home, right from home. So as parents, please, irrespective of the fact that you need to feed home, irrespective of the fact that you need to go out there hustle.
I mean, you both are doctors. But you can at least try set up a business. Let your husband work.
There should be a way out.
A way out.
Once you decide to give birth, you should have a way of taking care of the children. Don't leave them in the hands of people all the time. And they've gone astray, and you cannot control them. And then today, the kind of things people smoke, Hetty.
Hetty is bad though.
It's bad.
I saw a girl. I don't know if she's sleeping or she's standing or she's dancing. I don't know.
Super glue.
Hey.
People,
When I heard that thing,
yes,
I was
people are
surprised.
sleeping.
Yes, it's a polo, so I don't see a you.
Uncolos.
It's bad. I mean, what people are doing, they are even inhaling pads. Use pads.
Yes, use pads.
They are inhaling use pads.
Yes, use sanitary
high.
pads.
Yes, use sanitary pad. That is what we are talking about. Use sanitary pad.
So they go like,
yes. They get high.
I like
I'm telling you. We are not. We are not exaggerating. We are not exaggerating. We are not exaggerating.
Carpenter's glue.
And some people get high to the extent that they love to smell. They love the smell of toilets. So they
exactly.
Wow. I think when it comes to
yes, it is now.
When it comes to drugs, its use, the abuse and all, I think we need to, one of these days have a resource person to really get us into it. And probably, if lucky, get someone who is out of it to really talk to us about, how they got in, how it used to be like being in there.
Someone
and
who wants to change.
Exactly. Someone maybe out of rehab, who has seen the light now.
Thank God.
Yes.
Some of us, I have been staying alone, from GHS. I've been staying all alone, but I never got myself
got yourself into
so
that.
I always thank God that.
And some people also link this to spirituality.
Okay.
Some people don't link it to spirituality.
Sometimes that's some nonsense. Excuse me if I should say that. Sometimes that's some nonsense.
Sometimes to you might actually agree to it because we bet me on monsa. Yeah, you drugs go fancy.
I remember
bet me on monsa, but say be one day pa because I
remember
fine. Pastor,
I remember a pastor telling me that, hey, I'm on phobia target. Ye pese ye ma ye de grawasi uyem a ba wi nsasa na say dem ko from yem class for na because me san me num bi da na wo person bi ya me a also de ade a me pe eno ne
Interesting. This is the One King Show. My name is Hetty. Thank you so much for your time for tonight's edition of The Big Place. We'll come your way same time, God willing, next week. Until then, bye for now.